नमस्कार। हम सब के जीवन में कोई ना कोई आदर्श होता है। हम उनकी तरह बनना चाहते हैं, उनके गुणों को अपने जीवन में ढालना चाहते हैं। हमारी कोशिश ये भी होती है कि हम अपने आदर्श की तरह सफलता की बुलंदियों को छुएं। हमारा प्रयास होता है कि हम उन ऊंचाइयों तक जाएं, जहां से हम अपने परिवार, समाज और देश का नाम रोशन कर सकें। 125 करोड़ से ज्यादा आबादी वाले इस देश में कई ऐसे रियल हीरोज हैं, जो लंबे समय से बच्चे और युवाओं के आदर्श बने हुए हैं। क्रिकेट के पिच पर कई कीर्तिमान अपने नाम करने वाले सचिन तेंदुलकर भी इन्हीं में से एक हैं। सचिन से बात की हमारे सहयोगी ध्रुव और परिधि ने।
Hi sir, you're a legend and it's absolutely phenomenal having you here talking to you. It's absolutely amazing.
Always a pleasure.
My name is Dhruv Bindra.
And my name is Paridhi Puri, sir. You are an inspiration, as Dhruv said, to every child watching here today. And so let's begin.
Yeah, sure. So sir, we just celebrated World Children's Day and I want to ask you, according to you, what makes this day so significant?
I think this day is really, really special and for children across the world. I think it's all about, giving them responsibility, giving them freedom, and allowing them to express themselves. Today's generation, I find, they have incredible ideas. They surprise you, and especially being a parent, I know. So I spend time with my children, and I know exactly how they think. But the best part about 20th November is children will be raising voice for the other children who are disadvantaged, who are vulnerable, and sometimes they don't get in life what they are meant to, which is their right. And I think it is a great platform for all of you. You are the next generation. You are going to take over the world. And that is really important. We need to understand how you think, but also it is a learning experience for you guys to go out, be fearless. Sometimes it's okay to experiment. We also did the same thing on the field. Not always we succeeded in trying to do various things. There were occasions where we faced failure, but we learned from our mistakes, and that is what life is about. We make mistakes, but we keep getting better and better. And here is an opportunity to keep getting better and better. And UNICEF, I think, they've played a massive role in starting this movement of going blue. And none other than Rashtrapati Bhavan. They've gone blue. I mean, this is a huge honor. I think this movement is really special, and it just makes me feel special that I'm part of this movement, and a great initiative where children have the platform to express themselves.
So sir, in the context of schools, sports is such an integral part of all students' lives. And so how can we stress upon sports even more today?
For me, sports is everything. I think it is. School days are possibly the best days of your life. You make friends who stay with you forever, and I feel the atmosphere in any school is better when education and sports, they both work together in partnership. Children also perform better when they have a stress buster, and I call stress buster. Whenever I went on the field, I thought I was able to express myself and set myself free and do whatever I wanted to do. With education also, I think that today there is so much pressure on children. I think it is important to somehow, divert their mind somewhere else for a while. That is one point. But I think something which is really, really important is sports. To me, it doesn't recognize your religion, the color of your skin, your bank balance, nothing. Everyone is equal. That platform is equal for everyone, be it a boy or a girl. It really doesn't matter. And I've come across, we've attended few cricket camps just now, and I've come across youngsters where girls are pushing boys like anything. So, if anyone is still thinking that boys are better than girls, my friends, you need to start thinking differently. So I think that is really important. We Indians, I think we have a tendency to lead sedentary lifestyle. So that needs to change, and that message sometimes doesn't go from top to bottom. Now it's time for us to change those things. We need to go from bottom upwards, and that's why I feel we need to have sports at a grassroots level. Sports should be made compulsory in each and every school, and children should adapt a different lifestyle. I think they should be taught in schools what to eat and when to eat and how much to eat. We feel everything can be consumed all the time. That doesn't work, and that's the reason when it comes to obesity, we are number 3 in the world, and that's one number that I am surely not proud of. We as a nation can surely get fitter, and the movement needs to start from the grassroots level. I feel we are also a diabetic capital of the world. There are reasons for that, and to change these things, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a while, but I feel today's generation is more aware of their nutrition, what to eat and what not to eat, and they are conscious. I was talking to both of you, and you both said we like training, which is fantastic. So continue to be ambassadors, of living a good lifestyle, a healthy and fit lifestyle, and that starts from the grassroots level. So it's having sports in school, I feel, is an integral part of your overall development.
I completely agree. So, I'm picking up from there. Now my next question is going to be about a problem that the vast majority of children in our country face. Now, with the rise of academic pressure, children find themselves in a world devoid of sports. In addition to, as you mentioned, how schools should incorporate sports in a daily curriculum, how can stakeholders in society, be it the government or other organizations, find a pragmatic way and finally just rectify this issue?
So first of all, I feel it is wrong for parents to pressurize their children to study, because sometimes parents leave home, they come back in the evening and they ask their child, how much have you studied? Now, ideally, I would want them also to ask them, how much have you played? I think that is really important. And when it comes to scoring X number of percentage in your exams, I think with sports being made compulsory in schools, should also, there are already grades when you represent at national level or state level or district level, and that should happen in all schools. I feel it shouldn't be just for few schools. It should become mandatory in all schools, and that way, what is going to happen? The parents who are chasing those high percentages all the time will be forced to send their child to play some sport, hoping that the child represents the state or national level or district level, whatever, but you have a scope to score more marks. I find it is important for parents to spend more time with their child and understand the strengths of that child, their likes and their dislikes, what they want to be in life. It's not about the parent's dream, it is about the child's dream. And how do you encourage your child in that direction, and how you guide them, you direct them, becomes really critical here. Parents should never compare their child with someone else's child. I think they are individuals, we need to respect that, and we need to judge them what they are and how best they can be, rather than वो एक टेंडेंसी होती है कि ना वो बाजू वाले का लड़का बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स स्कोर कर रहा है, you need to score better than him. That attitude has to change. When you decide, okay, this is what I want to be and this is the best that I can be, and chase your own targets, that is really important. When you start competing, you are actually chasing someone else's target. Who knows? I mean, if someone else can get to level of 5 and your capability is 9 or 10, by scoring 6 you are actually under delivering to yourself. So don't compare yourself to anyone else, and this is my message to parents also. Please don't do that. Give every child the freedom that they want with responsibility. It is also a message to all the children across the world that responsibility and freedom go together. So when you have your freedom, it comes with responsibility. Respect your elders and listen to them. I think that is really important, and when all these things work together, I feel the results follow. So this is my message to all the parents, how one could get the best out of your child.
We are really blessed that so many people in our country is full of sports lovers, everyone is interested, but not a lot of children are nowadays playing sports, actively going out. So what are your thoughts about that?
It's good that children want to go out and play, and the more they play, the better it is for their health, I feel. As I mentioned earlier, that we are the diabetic capital of the world and obesity number 3. And then the UN report also says that from 2012 to 2030, India would end up spending $6.3 trillion when it comes to addressing all the non-communicable diseases. So which is a large number. So by staying fit and healthy, can you imagine, even if you are able to bring that number down by 10 or 20%, can you imagine the number of dollars or now the money that we can use constructively, rather than spending that money on hospitals. I think there are better ways to use that money constructively, and it will have a direct impact on our nation. And then I feel that impact is going to be so positive that 15 years down the line, when we look back as a healthier nation, as a fitter nation, it will give us a reason to smile, and that is what I feel is really, really important. And that movement starts from the grassroots level. Suddenly overnight you're not going to become extremely fit and healthy, but it is a gradual process, and it is not something where, okay, if I do it for a month, I'm going to be fine for the rest of my life. You wake up every morning, it's exactly like brushing your teeth every morning. It's exactly like having a shower, exactly like having proper meals. You need to look after your body every day. Every day.
Right. So I think you previously mentioned about how you personally feel that nowadays girls and boys have equal opportunities to play, right? But for me, unfortunately, in my community, I don't see the same. What would your message be on this aspect, right?
I think it is extremely important that a girl child has the same opportunities as a boy child. The tendency is still in certain areas. I think the tendency is, मेरे बेटे को जाने दो बाहर सीखने के लिए, बेटी घर पे बैठेगी और घर का काम संभालेगी. That has to change, without any doubt. And India is given reason enough to understand things have changed completely. I mean, you look at how many girls today are wanting to become like Hima Das. I mean, thousands and thousands of girls are wanting to follow her footsteps. There are so many sporting models that we have. You know, the heroes of various disciplines. Now we have Mithali Raj, Saina, Sania, Sindhu. I mean, the list is endless. And I want to congratulate and thank their parents for supporting them, because if they had thought otherwise, we would never have got all those medals and glory. And it is so important. And then I'm sure people are realizing this, and more and more girl child are being encouraged to go out and play any sport that they want, to be whatever you want to be in life. I think it is not just again about playing sport. There are so many girls who aspire to be celebrity chefs. The field is open for everything now, and that is the beauty of this generation. I think it's not confined to just 3 or 4 things that you can manage. I mean, the field is open for you to express yourself, to be what you want to be what you aspire to be. So that's the beauty, and for that we require equal platforms for both a boy child and a girl child.
And I do hope that in the near future we see these kind of discussions really transcending into concrete actions and see the impacts around us, because just like you, I truly believe that India and all the countries in the world truly have the potential to become fitter, to become more, provide more equal opportunities. And that being said, thank you so much for taking out your time and being with us here today, sir. It's been an absolute
pleasure.
Thank
you so much. Thank you.
बच्चे कच्ची मिट्टी की तरह होते हैं, उन्हें जैसे ढालते हैं। आज के समय के बच्चों में देश के लिए कुछ करने का जज्बा नजर आता है। समाज के लिए वो अपना योगदान देना चाहते हैं। बाल दिवस के अवसर पर त्यागराज स्टेडियम में हुए कार्यक्रम में भी देश भर के बच्चों ने हिस्सा लिया। शारीरिक चुनौतियों के बावजूद इन बच्चों में उत्साह, उमंग और जोश देखने लायक रहा।
World Children's Day is a fun day. It's for children, by children, a serious message at the same time. So for us, it's really for adults and children alike to come together on one day to bring attention to the issues children face and also the solutions that children propose and listen to them.
The theme of this year is Schools as a supportive environment for children. So what, according to you, are the elements that comprise a supportive environment for children?
Especially when it comes to team sport, everyone is together and it gives you real life lessons. There were a number of lessons which I learned on the field, which I was able to implement off the field. So overall development, along with, I can see a lot of children sitting here, don't ignore your studies. I'm just trying to add something to that. Okay? So it is important to study, it is important to have your extracurricular activities there in school, music, arts, and so on and so forth. I think when all these things are integrated, the results follow.
Now, as we all know, sports is undoubtedly extremely beneficial when it comes to an individual's physical or mental well-being. But additionally, it's fantastic when it comes to the context of social integration and inclusion. Now, Sandarya, have you ever felt that your love and passion for sports has ever helped you to break barriers?
First of all, I like to begin by saying that my brother, Prachulya Kumar Pradhan, is also 100% blind. And my parents had first dropped me and my brother in a school for the blind. And when I was in class 5 and he was in class 8, my parents decided to take us back to the village because we wanted to also pursue chess along with our studies. And it was not possible in the school that we were studying in because there were many kind of issues. First of all, the competition was limited to the other students who are visually challenged. We had never even dreamt of coming to the mainstream. And like for chess, we need some devices like mobiles and laptops, etc. for improvement, which was not really allowed there in that school also. So my parents decided to take us back to our village to study in normal school, and that was possible because of chess, first of all. Then what happened is that when my father went with my brother to do the admission for him in a school in my village, he was rejected. They said that they cannot take this much risk. And that was a shock for us. If we wrote just one email, it would be enough. My brother could get into that school, but we chose a different way. Me and my brother studied in two different schools, 3 kilometers away in a different village. And then what happened is that I kept improving in chess, my brother kept improving in chess, and when I was in class 8, and in class 7, and when my brother completed his class 10, it topped the entire block. And then, at the same time, at the age of 13, I got selected to represent India in the World Team Chess Championship for the line in the senior squad. And that is when the same school which had rejected my brother invited me to study there. So it was possible because of chess.
We see that sports have to still reach a lot of children in marginalized and vulnerable parts of India. So what is the vision regarding how we can reach them so that we can help them express themselves better?
See, firstly, the community has to understand and accept that 75% of the population is really living in the rural area. And there is the conditions and the situation there, everyone is aware that they are on their own, they have no facilities, they are underdeveloped. And if you want to identify athletes outside the urban areas, then you will have to go out right into the wilderness, which we do. I might tell you that in our organization, we found that the athletes, very hard to find, athletes were there, but they were not accessible because they registered in the school and went home. And what you have to do, and remember, if you want to get people to play, you have to make a sustainable model. There is no point in going for one day and playing and then go to another place and play. You have to wait, and you can only do that. You can only do that if you have a school or an institution or a community which has an organized club or whatever it is.
उम्मीद करते हैं कि बच्चों के चेहरे पर हंसी और खुशी यूं ही बरकरार रहेगी। जिस मेहनत और लगन से देश भर के बच्चे अपने अपने लक्ष्यों को हासिल करने की ओर आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, उससे देश का भविष्य उज्जवल नजर आ रहा है।